field that's in integrity with our soul, a field of joy and gratitude and thanksgiving, appreciation for life. So when individuals come into this field, the field acts like a tuning fork, so that an individual may be vibrating slower when they first get here, but by the time they leave, their vibration has speeded up, and they've come into more harmony with the elegance of the universe. Now the trick is, can they maintain that? And so the maintenance of that is spiritual practice. Study, as you mentioned, meditation, life visioning, prayer, fellowship, making sure you have right company. You know, you can't maintain the high frequency if you're around people that are always complaining, or always talking down about people, or gossiping about people, things of that particular nature. You have to maintain right company. So the community provides the context for right company and spiritual practice, so that you can practically begin to see people's lives change. I've seen many instances. I've seen people used to bring me like X-rays of their cancer, or of whatever the illness was, you know, and then we would pray, and we would establish a certain protocol for them in meditation, and then they would come back with their X-rays a few months later and say, "Well, it's gone. You know, what happened?" You know, well, I said, "I didn't do it. You did it. You changed your mind. You see, you changed your point of view. You stopped worrying so much. You took the sugar out of your diet. You exercised, and you began to meditate." So it's not one thing. It's all of these things working together for good. You see.
Well, I see it when after the services, people are bubbling and glowing.
Yes.
And they are all happy people.
Yes, I call it glowing for God. I teach that glowing is a very high form of prayer. That when you make contact with yourself, your real, energetic, spiritual self, you start to glow. And glowing is a very high form of prayer. And after a while, people become less and less embarrassed to be happy. They're less embarrassed to be in joy and gratitude for no reason whatsoever. You know, in the normal world, you have to have a reason to be grateful. You have to have a reason to be thankful. You know, it's my birthday, it's my anniversary, someone gives you a gift, you get a raise, you buy a house. Oh, I'm happy, I'm happy. But we teach, you become happy first. You elevate your awareness so that you're in joy and thanksgiving even before there's anything to be grateful for. And then what happens is universal law provides something for you to be grateful for. If you're grateful first, then form follows consciousness. Then things show up for you to be grateful for. And sometimes it's the body temple coming to a greater alignment with health. Sometimes it's the mental body becoming more clear. Sometimes it's the emotional body becoming more pure. Sometimes it's the body of our affairs reflecting the order of the universe, or a combination of all of that, you see.
Yes, when you mentioned the vibration that's created here, and it's very easy to perceive, Paramahansa Yogananda says that the environment many times is more powerful. So that's why it's so important to maintain.
Yes.
That's what you created.
Yes, we created like a portable environment, you see. Like I'm here at Agape, but then I travel around the world and create that dynamic as well. And we really want people to learn the principles, the universal principles that are in every religion, if they can just look for them. And then the advanced teaching is practice. People want to know, what's the advanced teaching? Advanced teaching is practice. You know, the first level of the teaching is theory. The advanced teaching is practice. You practice this. You sit at home. You don't go outside. You don't go into the world until you make contact. You don't go outside until you feel a sense of gratitude and thanksgiving. You don't go off into the world until you feel that your needs are met already. Then you go into the world, and then the world meets that vibration. Miracles happen. Doors open. Possibilities show up. You know, the potential begins to be activated. But it takes practice. People are busy. They say, I don't have time to do this. I've got to go out and do all these things. But the thing about it is, as you begin to practice, after a while, your life starts to revolve around your practice. In the beginning, you try to stick your practice in your life, but after a while, your life revolves around the practice. And now you start to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And then once you start to taste that ecstasy and that bliss that comes from that kind of energetic connection, you don't never want to let that go.
Exactly. Yeah. I understand that among the many services that you do to the community, you have like a healing day that people just come for healing.
Yes.
Why don't you explain a little bit?
Yes, I have a well-being center here that we have many healers and forms of healing. And they meet on a Friday night, and people come and pay a small donation, and you get to work with any one of the healers that seem appropriate for you. So we have the energy healers, all kinds of energy healers. We have individuals that bring certain kind of modalities that create a homeostasis in the body temple. And so they gather here at Agape on a regular basis. People come in, they wait, and they get treated. So oftentimes, sometimes it's the first resort, sometimes it's the last resort. Sometimes they've gone to the doctor and they've gotten the prognosis that there's nothing we can do for you, or you're going to be making the exit from your body temple in a couple of years, or whatever the case may be. So they come here and they find that there's other way of thinking, other possibilities that can emerge. And we've seen a lot of what the world would call miracles, but we see the natural order of healing takes place many, many times.
If you could give our audience some suggestions, some tips, something that they can start practicing right now to add to their self-healing journey, what would you tell them?
Well, on the physical level, I would make sure that everyone is hydrated with good water. Most people are dehydrated. I would eliminate white sugar from the body temple, so that the body temple has a chance to heal itself. I would make sure that they're eating as organic as possible. This is all on the physical level. And then the next level, you make sure you want to move the body temple. You want to make sure you exercise it, and make sure that you're using the limbs. On an energetic level, you want to wake up every single day, and you want to, before you get out of bed, you want to find something that you're grateful for. And because a thought is a unit of mental energy, once you begin to feel grateful, then you start to release certain tonic chemicals that flow through the body. And it starts to create a level of coherence around your innate nature. So they can start right now, waking up every day and finding something to be grateful for. Because this is how it works. Many people can remember when their parents would say to them, if you don't stop crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about. And so the universe says, if you don't stop being grateful, I'm going to give you something to be grateful for.
I like that better.
Right. I like that better too. And so they can move into gratitude right now. They can move in, you can move into gratitude right now for no reason. And in the body temple, the mental body and the emotional body will follow your field of gratitude. I would also advise people to begin to create what I call best case scenarios. That is, when people get triggered and they get under stress, they start to worry, and worry has no transformational value at all. And they start to imagine worst case scenarios. I'm running late this morning, I'm stuck in the freeway, I'm going to get to my job, I'm going to get fired, I'm going to be homeless, I'm not going to have any money. Their mind just spins out. So I teach people to start creating a best case scenario, so that when you get triggered, you start thinking about all the wonderful things that could possibly happen. I can meet somebody today, and that person is going to open a door for me to discover my gifts and talents. I'm going to begin to share my gifts and talents. Possibilities are going to open up. More prosperity is going to flow into my life. I'm going to become happier and healthier and happier and healthier. You can do whatever you want to do with your mind. So you can allow it to run the gamut of worst case scenarios, or you can begin to let it flow with best case scenarios. Again, what are you doing? The body temple is being flooded with tonic chemicals. The condition for health and longevity, strength and vitality begin to be activated. Radiant beauty. I do believe that the body temple can heal anything if we provide it with the right nutrients and then the right, not just food for thought, but the right thought for food, you see. And, we've known this for years in the mystical tradition, and now evolutionary biologists and certain scientists are now corroborating this by saying not even your heredity can determine your outcome.
Bruce Lipton.
Yeah, Bruce Lipton's a friend of mine. He's, the biology of belief. He put into words what we've been teaching for years. And he had the scientific background. So the body temple can overcome hereditary patterns, can extend your telomeres with thought, with feeling, with right perception.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and this is very practical, what Reverend Michael just said. There are conferences about longevity, and where I see that they are trying to put things into the body. And in my experience, when you put the energetic part first, the longevity is just the natural result.
Absolutely. Yes.
There is healing.
Absolutely.
I just love this conversation.
I do too. People need to be aware that they can participate in their own health. They can become their authority and create and use their